Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to the Diaries, where my pals and I get together and talk about subjects dealing with our favorite tabletop role-playing setting, the World of Darkness. While we may not be subject matter experts on the game lines, we have a passion that has led us to create and share actual plays with you all. Eventually we thought, well shit, we might as well take a stab at a podcast, and here you go. Each episode we will have a guest content creator to join us to talk about whatever subject is on the table. If you would like to contact us, you can reach out to us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. So here we go. I hope you enjoy.
Hello and welcome to our episode of Diaries European Edition. This time, me, Slavek, and he, Tilmann, will tell you more about 13th Age character creation. And by tell you more about, we're just going to create a character, walk through all the steps. I'll guide Tilmann through it because he's never done it before. Of course, he's created lots of characters, just none for 13th Age. So let's get this show on the road. I'm going to preface this by saying 13th Age character creation is not that complicated. So,
on a scale of like 1 to Eclipse Phase 2nd edition, which is 13, how many steps does this character creation have?
All right. Well, I mean, there's like a couple. There's like a checklist here, but let's be honest, it's not Eclipse Phase like tier choices. It's game master input. So first you ask your game master what the game's going to be about, what concept will fit. Then you choose a race, class, generate abilities for that class, generate your combat stats, make up your one unique thing, the one unique thing that sets you apart from everyone else in the world. Then you do your icon relationships, then backgrounds, then your first level feat, and then some gear. So in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I think 9, I counted 10.
Yeah.
10 steps.
10 steps, okay. So
we have a general idea. It seems that it's too less complex.
Of course, that's how it works. If you have a one-step character creation in an RPG, that's just perfect. Even if it involves complex math, logarithms or something.
All right, Game Master, tell me what kind of game you want to run, so I can address this in my character concept.
So we at TCBN, we love our serious games. So let's say it's a serious game. So please no too funny concepts. A bit of comic relief's all right, as long as there's some serious side to the character as well. But otherwise, it's going to be a run-of-the-mill fantasy setting. Let's say the character you're going to be is let's say it's going to be a campaign about sort of party of scouts, of soldiers, similar to the one we had in our last one-shot. And they're going to try to sort of be the vanguard for the army, just clear out the opposition, map out the opposition, find info, and try to work behind the enemy lines, something like that.
Right. So I already mentioned to you, I think I would like to create a bard. Now, I'm not sure about race yet, but that's the first step. So what would generally go well with that?
I guess it depends on what you want. Since in 13th Age, you gain a bonus to your ability scores. One of them you gain from your race that you pick, and the other you get from your class. So it's never going to be something in like classic D&D where if you pick a race that doesn't have any bonuses to what you want to play, then you're screwed. So in this system, it's not like that. You at least get your class bonus. So You can pick whatever you want, but the bards use dexterity and charisma a lot. So you probably want, if you want to optimize it, one or a race with one or the other, and then you'll take the other from your class. You can't take both ability scores from your class and the race as the same ability score. So you can't take +2 charisma from, let's say, I don't know, high elves. Do they have charisma? Yes, they do. And then you wouldn't be able to take another +2 from bards. You'd have to take the dexterity. I understand that I just made it more complicated than it needs to be.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm just looking through my options here.
Right.
I think I don't want to play an elf. I'd rather not be that kind of bard, but right now I'm looking at halfling.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They have either +2, what's it, conscience or constitution? Yeah. Or a +2 dex. Mm-hmm. And the bard can have +2 to dex or charisma.
Yeah.
So that would give me the option to have both dex and charisma, I believe.
Exactly.
And it kind of fits my concept of being not that imposing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of in the back line.
Definitely. You get +2 AC against opportunity attacks. Am I correct for being in halfling? Yes, 2 AC bonus against opportunity attacks because you're small, and every race gets a racial power in 13th age, and the power of halflings is evasive. Once per battle, you can force an enemy that hits you to reroll the attack with a -2 penalty, which is nice. It keeps you alive, especially from death blows or something that's really dangerous. So, all right, halfling bard, put that down.
I did, and I misspelled bard, so now my class is Brad.
Okay, Brad. Oh no. Okay, so generate abilities. This one is, well, you always have several choices to make when generating abilities. You can either roll 46 6 times, drops lowest, or you can use point buy. You have 28 points. Unlike in D&D, you can actually point buy up to 18 in a stat. So you can start with 20 in a stat with your bonus from your class or your race, if that's particularly what you want. Or you can also use a standard array. And the standard array I use actually gives you a lot more points than you would get by either rolling or point buy. But it's actually recommended on their own website that they talked about it, because 13th age is a bit different than D&D because classes are a lot more MAD, which is to say multiple ability score dependent. A lot of your stats that you have are related to the middle score of 3 abilities. So, for example, armor class for the bard is the middle modifier of constitution, dexterity, and wisdom. Physical defense is strength, constitution, dexterity, mental defense, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, which means you have a extreme amount of stats, and it's better. The game works better if you have a slightly higher or bigger stats than in classical D&D. So we are going to assign 6 scores to your abilities. And these are going to be, I'm going to post them in the chat for you so you don't have to listen to me too much. 17, 15, 14, 13, 12, and 10.
Right, and I can place these however I see fit.
Exactly.
Okay.
You'll probably want the high ones to go to charisma and dexterity, possibly.
Yeah, but you're right. That looks a bit higher than what you usually have in D&D, though, to be honest. I was never a fan of the random roll thing.
Yeah, it depends on the game you're playing, I suppose.
Yeah, it can be interesting, but you can also end up with 3 stats at 8.
Yeah. As long as you roll before you decide on the other stuff, you can sort of make it work. I'm pretty sure I can make a character that isn't tries to be dependent on like 0 scores or something. But yeah, it'd be a pain. I guess a buff sort of character could work that way.
Right. So my thinking is my halfling bard is kind of like a tag along. Honestly, I think of him as someone who was like a traveling jester of sorts. He's not really sure what he's doing in the army right now, but he can't.
I mean, there's lots of ways to get into the army, either by your choice or someone else's. Maybe, would you say
He
he's a
was
gambler?
determined to be a volunteer. Yeah,
Or
maybe
may-
he's a gambler as well.
Yeah, it could be, that people who recruiters basically went into a tavern. That's what they did back in the day, and basically, got all the drunk people to sign the papers to get recruited. So maybe he lost the game and was forced to sign up to the army, either to pay debts or just because he was drunk.
Or maybe he was he got in trouble with the authorities.
Oh yeah,
somehow. Maybe not even to his own fault. At least that is what he believes in.
Yeah.
So someone kind of like blackmailed him in a way,
and
now he's stuck with the army.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
But anyway, what I'm thinking is he's not very strong.
Yeah.
He probably has constitution and dexterity, obviously, but not strength.
Okay.
So I think I'm using my 10 for the strength.
Okay, 10 strength. Got it.
Working my way up from there. I don't think he's particularly smart either.
That poor guy.
So yeah, I think I want to put my 12 in intelligence. However, wisdom and constitution I see as being quite important. As I said, my base idea, my background concept was a traveling jester of sorts. So both of these I think are quite important.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's important to note that the odd numbers, the 17, 15, and 13, are the ones that you're going to want to upgrade later on, because during the 4th, 7th, and 10th, or 4th, 7th, and 9th, I'm not sure right now, you get +1 to 3 different ability scores, right? And you basically want those scores to be even, because then they give you a modifier. So you start with, so say you have a 17 +2 from your ability, from your class, so you have 19 in, let's say, charisma. Then whatever the level is that comes where you get, it's at level 4, you get +1 to 3 abilities. Suddenly that 19 becomes a 20. And at level 7, once again, +1 to 3 abilities. I guess you can't go over 20, but yeah, that's just how it works. So it's good. It really depends also if you want. The character is probably not going to make it to level 10, which is like the final level, because I just don't believe that many players and people play that many high-powered games. But yeah, do as you will.
So I think I will put 13 into wisdom, 14 into constitution.
Good choice. Constitution is important. So not as much as in D&D where you have concentration checks. But still, life makes you not dead. That's very nice.
So that leaves me with my highest scores, 15 and 17, and the 2 that I can buff anyway because of my race and class pick.
Yep.
So now to make a decision, what's more important, dexterity or charisma?
It's the big decision, I guess.
I think it's kind of a cliche to make a high charisma character who's awful at anything else. Because you have that friendly face trait basically, and everyone is helping you out in the end.
Yeah, it's true, and D&D has that problem even more because there's 3 charisma casting classes, and honestly the warlock should be an intelligence class. Don't at me. And they had him in the playtest as an intelligence class, but it used to be a charisma class, and I guess the player testers didn't like it because it used to be different, and now they changed it. Now it sucked. But you know, 5D changed so many things. If they were a bit braver, it'd been nice. Anyways, back to 13th Age.
Yeah. Let's not get into that.
I would look at the talents you can get, the class talents. You can get 3 of them, and see what you basically, if you want to cast more spells, it's probably better to get charisma higher. But if you want to hit people with your rapier or sword or whatever, it's probably better to get a bit more dexterity.
Honestly, I'm going with charisma then.
All right.
Because I think he probably has like a decorative weapon, but he doesn't use it. I could see him throwing his song texts, like his book of songs, at people.
Right.
Or hitting them over the head with it.
The bards in 13th Age, they have these things called battle cries, which are only used in close combat or like in melee attacks, and they trigger when you roll certain things. So it's still viable to like go melee if you want to.
He's like a chihuahua. Very loud, very fidgety, and will bite you eventually, but you won't even notice.
Okay. All right. That's really interesting. They can actually be strength as well if you want them to. It wouldn't like be to your detriment, so you could go strength and charisma. Interesting. So yeah, that's another feature of 14H we'll talk about later, is how weapons are handled, which is different from D&D. All right, so you're going to have 19 in charisma then with your bonus and 17 in dex.
Yeah, where do I add my bonus? In the first of the 3 lines?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Your modifier is the plus how much it gives you. So with a 19, your modifier is +4, as 10 is 0. Anything less than 10, like 9 and 8, are -1. And 11 and 12, 12 is +1. I think 9 is 0 too. Yeah, 9 is 0. So it's basically every 2 that you have over is like a +1 modifier. So a 19 is +4, 17 is +3, and so on and so forth. So what's your modifiers right now?
Yeah, I think I have strength 0, constitution 2, dexterity 3, intelligence 1, wisdom 2, charisma 4.
All right. In 14th Age, you don't have proficiency bonuses, but you add your level to everything. So under the modifiers, you have another basically row, which is modifier plus level, which is what you usually actually roll. Because you add your level to almost everything in 13th Age. To any roll, I mean. All right. So we got the ability scores. Combat stats. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's the lots of middle stuff. So basically, when you choose your armor, you have 4 options that the game gives you: none, light, heavy, and shield. And it writes out the base AC you get for the armor and the attack penalty you get if you wear a certain armor. So basically, they shoehorn classes like, yeah, you're a bard, you're probably going to wear light armor in any sort of fantasy setting. We're going to give you 12 AC. If you do want to wear heavy armor, you'll get +1 AC. It'll cost you a -2 attack penalty. And if you want a shield, it'll cost you another -1 penalty. I assume you'll just pick the light armor.
I think so, yeah.
It's the logical choice because attack penalties work on like everything, on every spell, every attack. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That would suck.
And then melee weapons.
Wait a second. What do I put down for light armor?
First we'll pick these, and then we'll go further down, and I'll tell you what your actual AC is. Because we can do this actually straight up. Armor class for you is 12 plus your middle modifier of Constitution, Dexterity, Wisdom. So the middle between these 3.
There was Constitution, Dexterity, and Wisdom.
Yes.
Is that modifier or modifier plus level?
Plus level.
Okay, so I have 3 for Constitution, 4 for Dexterity, and 3 for Wisdom.
All right, so it's 12 plus 3 is 5. 15. Slavik, no good at math.
Okay, now I got it.
Yeah. There's a table here. I'm not sure if you found it on the SRD. There, it's basically the stat part. All right, now your physical defense. Physical defense protects from like physical attacks, like certain spells and grapples and stuff like that. It's from spells other or abilities other than normal attacks that are physical. So yours is 10 plus the middle modifier of strength, constitution, or dexterity plus level.
Strength, constitution, dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1, 3, and 4. So
All
I
right,
guess
3.
Okay.
Middle modifier. That's 13 physical defense. And then goes the mental defense, which obviously protects against psychic thingies, which is 11 plus your middle modifier of intelligence, wisdom, charisma. This table, or like the base numbers, are different for each class, just for our listeners. So it's, not every class has the same PD, MD, and AC.
So my middle modifier, that's intelligence, wisdom, charisma.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2, 3, and 5, and I still haven't found a table. So do I get a 14 in mental defense?
All right. Your middle modifier is 3?
I think so.
Yeah. In which case you do. And now hit points. Hit points are 7 plus constitution times level modifier. The level modifier is like different for each class. Yeah, there we go. And for you, it's 7 plus 2 in parentheses for your con modifier. 9 times 3, so your level 1 hit points should be 27.
Yep.
Right.
I believe I found the table finally. So
yay!
I agree.
Recoveries. If you guys, listeners, haven't listened to any of our 13th Age one-shots, they're basically how many times you can heal. Whenever you heal, you roll your recovery dice, and one of your recoveries get lost, which means you have a limited amount of heals you can actually undertake in 13th Age. So it becomes more of an attrition game. You can't just cast, I don't know, Cure Wounds infinite times or something. At a certain point, your body will just give out. And then your recovery dice, which is basically the same thing as hit dice in D&D, except you use them whenever you roll a recovery, which is 1d8 times level plus your con modifier. So it's 1d8 plus 2 for you.
All right, I get 8 recoveries, 1d8 plus 2 recovery roll.
Yeah, that's it. Backgrounds. Okay, so backgrounds are really open-ended in this system. Like, really open-ended. They can be anything and everything you want them to be. So you can have maximum of 5 points in any background, and altogether you have 8 points, though as a bard you might get a bit of extra from your talents later on. So think of anything you want. Backgrounds or replace skills in 13th Age, by the way. So instead of, say, something like sneaking, you'll have...
Can I use my background for being a sneaky dude?
You can, though I would say...
No, I mean, that's just an example.
Yeah, you can. It'd be like, let's say if you have a hunter background,
yeah,
4 points in hunter, or something like a thief, or a scout.
Belgian ninja.
Exactly. If you have a ninja background, 5 dots in ninja background, yeah, of course, roll them.
Trench coat and katana background.
Oh yeah, that gives you a plus intimidation and I don't know, probably a malice to socialization.
No, but for real though, I really want to get the traveling jester in there, and maybe also
traveling jester. Put it there as a background. That's perfect.
Trouble with the authorities, maybe.
Oh yeah. Also, basically, almost anything can be a background And then you just have to sort of think about what that background would apply to in game and how it will work it out with your DM. So traveling jester background, how many points do you want to put in that?
I don't know yet, honestly. I got 8
Okay.
points to spend.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Can you give me can you help me understand how much 1 point in a background means in game?
1 point of background gives you a +1 to a roll. So think about like at level 1, the standard DC checks, I believe, are 10 for like easy, 15 for middle, and 20 for hard. So let's say you want to sneak. So you'll have your dex bonus plus level. Let's say it's 4. I think it's probably 15, 20, 25 DC checks. Sorry if I don't have it in my head right now. I'd have to dig out my... All right, yeah, it's 15, 20, 25 at adventure tier, which is like the basic one you start with. So let's say it's a DC 20 check. So if you need to roll if you have a dexterity modifier of 4 plus level 1, that's 5. So you get +5 to the roll, and then you add your background, and it basically decides if you have, let's say, 5 backgrounds in Thief, 5 background dots, then that means you need to roll a 10. If you have just 3, it means you need to roll a 13. Each one is basically a 5% increase in whatever you want it to do. And backgrounds should be able to do several things. Like they shouldn't be too focused.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing right now. So I believe my traveling jester is like finding bars, socializing, making some money, bartering with people, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Trouble with the authorities, probably like
I'd probably
fast talking, fast running.
And since there's the traveling jester part, I definitely also add it to like traveling, maybe like finding supplies or
Oh yeah, that's a good
surviving.
point.
So I really like the system more than the normal skill system, because I feel like a lot of times you have a character that you feel like could do certain things from certain skills, but not others. But also you don't have the other skills that you'd want. Let's say you have a priest who's would know a lot about magic from certain like religions or whatever, but not necessarily have the arcana skill. And let's just say it works a lot smoother, in my opinion, as long as you don't have a bad guy or girl at your table that just tries to apply his or her background to absolutely everything.
Well, I mean, no game system saves you from that.
No,
it's
exactly.
Just,
it really doesn't.
If people want to break the game and be like no fun, then
13th Age is a lot about like consensus between players and GMs, and the players have a lot of input on how the game sort of works with the
and I mean for us
guy.
It works incredibly well.
Yeah,
so
I like
I'm very happy with these 2 backgrounds I have right now.
You can actually put, let's say, 5 in one, 3 points in the other, if you want to leave it that way. Or we can stat them out later once you do your talents and icon relationships.
I'm considering maybe something about the group that he travels with, where he comes from, like a real background.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that an icon relationship?
Where he comes from? No. It can be that. Definitely can be a proper background. It could be like a, let's say, village upbringing, or like a farmer's son, for example. Definitely viable background. Street orphan, also viable in my opinion. Something like that.
I like that last one, street orphan, picked up by like a group of traveling artisans.
Yeah, I think that definitely helps things like stealing, maybe finding information in a city, anything and everything really to do with like more seedier parts of the city, Yeah, definitely viable. So how many points in each? What do you think? Remember, max 5 in one?
What do you think about 4, 2, and 2? 4 for traveling jester.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's like your main thing. So 4 in traveling jester, 2 in orphan, and when was the last one again?
Trouble with the authorities. And
Trouble with the authorities.
do these overlap too much?
I
Orphan
feel
and
like the orphan
authorities?
and the authorities one might overlap a bit.
Yeah.
I might
Maybe.
just scratch the trouble with the authorities and put 1 point from it into the orphan and 1 point into the jester.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, I was considering adding something like comes from bumfuck nowhere, but then, like, what to do with that?
Yeah. I mean, you can always think about it, and you can even change backgrounds in game. Like, take it from one background and put it into like another, maybe even a newly made one. Okay, icon relationships. Here we go. You have just 3 points. Those points are important because normally at the beginning of each session, you roll your icon relationships, and every 5 or 6 that comes up gives you a small bonus. A 5, if you roll a 5, it also comes with strings attached. If you roll a 6, it's just straight up grade for you. And you basically, there's 13 icons in 13H, and they're like super powerful people, and they represent the organizations that shape the world. I'm going to read them out now just for our listeners. So it's the Archmage, the Crusader, the Diabolist, the Dwarf King, the Elf Queen, the Emperor, the Great Gold Worm, the High Druid, the Lich King, the Orc Lord, the Priestess, the Prince of Shadows, and the Three. Those are just the basic 13 icons, and the game actually really encourages you to change them up, change their alignments, play with them, maybe play the good ones a bit evil, the evil ones as perhaps redeemable or even sensible. So I usually make up icons really often. If you remember our Foster and Nagar one shot, the Nominous Triad, which Tilmann was playing, was a made-up icon, and I think there were others too.
Yeah, that was excellent. I really enjoyed that part.
So yeah, it's basically, it's not gods. Gods don't play a big role in 13th Age, really. The focus is there on the icons and the organizations they represent.
Being in the army, I'm tempted to just pick the Emperor. And
that's fair. You could also be in the army of the Crusader.
Who's the Crusader?
Crusader is the armored fist of the dark gods. So long as the followers of the gods of light stay the hell out of their way, the Crusader turns his wrath against demons that would destroy the world. His own gods want to rule. Follow the Crusader if you must win at any cost. He also often catches people or captures them and forces them into his legions. But in the end, his end goal is relatively sensible in that he tries to rid the world of demons that want to destroy it, and in many ways he's necessary, and he's a sort of alignment with the Emperor. And the bonus thing is that in icon relationships you have 3 types of relationships that you can spend points on: positive, conflicted, and negative. Now, usually how the game sets it up is that you can spend lots of stuff into positive relationships with good and heroic icons, and it's a bit more complicated with ambiguous icons and villainous icons. You can only have a limited amount of positive or negative relationships with, or positive, and then you can have up to 2 a negative. But honestly, I think the way I rule it is you can put 3 anywhere, because we're not playing standard fantasy. It's more like dark fantasy. So even if one character has 2 or 3 positive relationships with a villainous icon, especially if the character is evil, it just makes sense.
So the Crusader sounds fitting.
Yeah, you could even have a conflicted or negative relationship with him.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking conflicted, because I think my character, and we still don't have a name,
No.
he generally understands the goal but doesn't want to help with it, maybe.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the Crusader does a lot of really shady stuff. Okay, so how many points do you think? You can even put all of them there if you want to. Honestly, it's not
Is there another icon that would fit? Maybe.
Maybe you wanted to have some background stuff there, so you could have done something for perhaps for the Prince of Shadows, who is part thief, part trickster, part assassin. To some, he is a hero; to others, a villain. He has squandered the riches of the dwarves, murdered the hopes of a dragon, plundered the dreams of a god. His exploits have changed the world, but none can tell you his goal or motives. He's like this shadowy figure who does things seemingly at random, but he has a goal in mind, and he can be cruel, but he can be quite helpful as well and kind. Or you could be perhaps have been a servant of the three, who are the one of the first dragons to walk the world. The red is pure destruction, the blue is sorcery, and the black is shadows and assassins. So it could be actually, I believe the blue is in control of a city called Drakenhau, the city of monsters. It's actually an official city of the empire. So a dragon rules the city of monsters, which is part of the human empire. Or I guess the empire is more like cosmopolitan, but mostly human focused. So that's some interesting lore from the basic 13th age setting. So perhaps you were born there, so you might have a relationship with them.
I'm feeling this Prince of Shadows.
Yeah, Prince of
I
Shadows
think
is
because
great. It's classic. Yeah.
I see the connection to like a traveling artist.
Mhm.
You're kind of. I mean, you many see you as like scum and as a
Mhm.
nuisance, and
Oh yeah.
you're always hard pressed for money, barely getting by. But you
Mhm.
believe you're like above it all. You've seen everything. You see through all the people that you meet. You're just playing by your own rules.
Yeah, no, Prince of Shadows is a great choice.
All right,
So
I think
would you say it's a positive relationship?
yeah, I think so. It's like an admiration, even though it's like a problematic figure.
That's completely fair. So we have your 3 points in icons, 2 conflicted relationship with the Crusader, 1 positive relationship with the Prince of Shadows. Good stuff. And now for your talents. The talents will sort of set up what your character actually does and how it'll work. You can choose 3, or rather, you have to choose 3. Do you want to read them out? The first one is Balladeer.
So yeah, the first one is Balladeer.
I
That's
just
a lot of
realized we
text.
forgot to. Yeah, well, let's not read them out. That take forever, honestly.
Okay.
I'll just summarize what it does. First, we forgot your melee attack and your ranged attack.
All right. Yeah, we need those.
So yeah, if you're using a one-handed weapon and you're using like a longsword or a scimitar, it's like a 1d8 plus your level. Your attack roll is dexterity plus your level versus AC, and to hit is 1d8 plus dexterity damage. And if you miss, you also deal damage. You deal damage equal to your level in melee. In ranged, you don't have miss damage. It's right above the talents class features. You'll have basic attack.
So I have dexterity plus level versus AC, and what is hit and
Yeah, that's to hit.
missing?
Yeah, hit is how much damage you do. So that's your attack. Your hit is 1d8 if you choose the optimal option plus
Okay.
plus your dexterity,
Right.
which is plus 3. So it should be 1d8 plus 3. And miss is damage equal to your level. So miss is 1 damage if you miss. Also, kind of complicated, or like I believe bards are like the most complicated class in 13th age. They have 3 types of features, which are bardic songs, battle cries, and spells. So how bardic songs work is that they last for 1 or more rounds. They require a specific action each round that you must make, and then you roll a d20 to check against its sustained target. And if you succeed, you continue with the sustained target. If you don't, you perform a final verse. A powerful effect happens, and the song ends. And you have a limited amount of songs per long rest. Then you have battle cries, which are basically flexible melee attacks, which when you attack in melee and you do a specific thing, like you roll a natural 16 plus roll, for example, then you can activate the battle cry called Stay Strong, which gives a nearby ally a +2 bonus to AC until the start of your next turn. Or if you roll a natural 11 plus, you can do Pull It Together. So after that attack, one nearby ally could heal using a recovery. So they can roll their recovery die. So that's how battle cries work. And then spells work the way they always work. You just cast them and they activate. Some are at will, others are rechargeable after battle, and others are simply daily. You use them once and then you can't use them at all.
I think I want to go the full bard route and play songs that inspire you.
All right. Yeah. So, okay. Class talents, which improve upon the aforementioned rolls. So, Balladeer means each level you learn a great ballad of your choice. Each day you can sing one of those songs to give you a positive relationship with an icon you would not have. You would not ordinarily have, and increase a negative relationship with another icon. So basically, you get a positive and negative relationship with an icon. So let's say you could sing a ballad about the Emperor, you'd get a +1 relationship with the Emperor, and let's say -1 with the Lich King. Maybe it's a ballad about the forces of the Emperor defeating the Lich King. So then you roll a charisma check. Okay, so it's like an out of combat ability. If you succeed, you get 2 points of positive relationship with the icon. Interesting. Okay, and then you don't just get negative relationship, you get cursed dice for that icon. Okay, and those give you problems if you roll ones or twos, but they're like temporary. They disappear at the end of the session. So Balladeer is like a pure fluff ability.
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, it's pretty
neat.
nice. Yeah. Then you have Battle Scald. So you can't take this talent if you take Spell Slinger. Increases the number of battle cries. We don't really want that. Jack of Spells. Choose. Okay, you can steal spells from other classes. Do you want to do that?
Not really.
No. Okay.
Lore Master and Myth Kenner don't really seem to fit either, honestly.
Yeah, no, they just make you intelligence and wisdom based, which is honestly nice, though, that there exist talents which change your casting from, let's say, charisma to wisdom or intelligence if you want to play a different type of bard character. But Songmaster, this one really works, I think. So if you attempt to maintain a bardic song, if you describe it in a fashion that entertains the GM or at least a couple of the players, you get a bonus of +1 to +3 to maintain the song.
I love it.
Yeah, I think Songmaster is perfect.
It's so good. It's exactly how I think of playing a bard.
Yeah. So Songmaster is the one. Spell Singer, I think, is definitely the second one you want to take, which means you can choose an extra bardic song or bard spell at the highest level you know. So basically, you'll be able to have more bardic songs, which is useful.
Yeah, both sound very good.
And the third one you said you wanted Balladeer, which I think work pretty well.
Yeah, I was looking at Storyteller right now, and it's not that interesting, honestly.
Yeah. Storyteller allows you to reroll relationship checks if you don't like the first result. Now we choose, okay, so we have 2 battle cries and 3 spells and songs. So basically you can just choose songs if you don't want any spells, but there's only 2 songs at level 1. So,
oof.
Sad times. Yeah, you have to remember that it's an indie game. So there's not 350 billion spells to choose from. But honestly, it works better that way. There's a lot more balance between the martial and caster classes, especially since there's not 3 billion utility spells, because they just aren't there, which I think is great, honestly. Makes everyone work together.
Cast bread.
Yeah, exactly. Level 1 songs. Song of Heroes, which gives attack bonuses. And when the final verse is that an ally of your choice gets an extra big bonus on their next attack. All right, so it's a quick action 11 plus to sustain. And then there's the Song of Spilled Blood, which any attack against you takes a penalty equal to the number of your allies in the battle who have more hit points than you. I really like that system. And the final verse is that you or your ally can heal using a recovery. I think that's great. The songs scale in the same way that spells do. So at 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th level, you get some extra bonuses, which is cool. So I'd say you'd pick both of the songs, Spellblood and Heroes, and then you'd pick a spell, I guess. There's quite a bit of them. So Battle Chant is interesting because even though it doesn't do much damage, you can activate your battle cries with it, even though it's a ranged attack. And it's at will. It deals 1d4 plus charisma thunder damage, so 1d4 plus 4 for you. There's Befuddle, which is a ranged spell. Recharge is at an 11 plus, so after each battle, you roll a d20. An 11 plus, if you cast Befuddle, you gain it back. There's Charm Person. Okay, so this can't be cast during combat or on a target that rolled initiative. Okay, believes you are their friend, so classical charm. And Sound Burst, which is like a daily spell that targets 1d4 nearby enemies and deals 5d6 plus charisma damage to them and dazes them until the end of your next turn. So what do you think you want from the spells?
I mean, Sound Burst sounds interesting because it does damage and because it's stupid.
It's structure.
You play a dissonant tune and everyone has...
Yeah, I mean, it's a spell, so it's just like, it just works, man, okay?
I like it because of that. On the other hand, Charm Person sounds really, really powerful and like a roleplay heavy game.
Yeah, definitely.
Depends. But he's in the army, right?
Remember that you can also switch out spells each like short rest. It's no big deal.
I mean,
not short rest, I mean like long rest whenever you take a rest.
Befuddle is also really good.
So you can switch them out. It's not really important which ones you pick.
Healing is rare in 13th Age, right?
Well, yeah, it's mostly very limited in the end because you're limited by your recoveries. And you only get basically a rest every 3 or 4 battles.
So the question is, do I go full on off white mage build, or do I have the annoying as fuck bard build?
Well, it really depends. Especially, you'd probably look at the rest of your party and then decide according to that. So let's just say you take Soundburst for now. But if you don't have healers, you take something else. You also get battle cries, though. You get 2 of them. So you could, for example, take Pull It Together, which if you roll a natural 11 plus, you can only use it twice per battle, and the effect is one nearby ally can heal using a recovery. So you can have both damage and recoveries. There's Stay Strong, which gives a nearby ally bonus to AC. We Need You, which a nearby conscious ally can roll a save against the save ends effect, which is like stuns or poisons or whatever.
Yeah, I think I take these 2 if I have 2 battle cries.
All right.
They sound good.
Pull It Together and We Need You. Okay, that's it. Let me check how far have we gone? Blah, 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 blah. First level feat. Okay, so you get 1 adventurer tier feat. Basically, how feats work, they're like mini add-ons to your abilities. Your talents have feats, and so do some of your spells or abilities. So basically, you can boost anything you feel like becomes useful as such. For example, the Balladeer talent has the adventure feat that the first time you use your ballad to create a relationship, any 5s you roll become 6s, and you gain +2 to your Balladeer checks. Where the hell is Soundburst? Soundburst adventure feat is on a natural even hit, which is to say you roll an even roll and you hit on a d20. The dazed effect is now not until the end of your next turn, it's until they roll a save to save it, which means they have a 50% chance of it continuing. And dazed in 13th age means -4 penalty to attack, so it's pretty powerful for a level 1 spell. You can get a lot of people out of the fight for a bit of time if you take the feat there. It's not really that important. The game even tells you that it's fine if you take the first feat at the end of your first session, but also you can switch feats out after basically every long rest as well. Especially if you take a different spell, then the feat you'll just transfer the feat if you want a new one or put it somewhere else.
Yeah, I think I just take the sound burst one.
All right.
It seems really good because the other ones are, I mean, the Balladeer one is, it can be really powerful.
Yeah, we have to be a bit lucky. It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's still an indie game, so it's not perfectly balanced, but I think it's balanced well enough.
Yeah, I don't really care, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
the thing is, right, the reason you want balanced games and like games where you fight a lot is so no one feels particularly
left out,
excluded or
right.
useless.
Yeah, true.
All right, so we have that, and then you'd pick gear. Let me see. How much money do bards get? Oh, yeah. So at first level, bards start with non-magical musical instruments, a melee and ranged weapon of their choice, some form of light armor, and any minor elements of gear their background suggests. You start either with 25 gold pieces or 1d6 times 10 gold pieces. Statistically speaking, rolling is better, but it depends on you.
I'm sitting here with Slavek the Cursed.
Yeah, I'd roll a 1. I'd roll a 1, but I'd still roll it.
Okay. I mean, I'm playing somewhat of a gambler. We had that conversation.
Right. That's true.
So how much do I roll?
1d6.
All right, that's a 6.
60 gold. Your gamble paid off. You're not like me. See, and you have more than 2 times your normal starting gold, and that's honestly great. I wish you'd roll a 1, honestly.
We don't have to spend it all.
Yeah. No, but it's a lot of things you can spend gold on in 13th age. It's like not just potions, but there's like oils and runes, which boost your weapons and stuff like that. I don't really want to go into it that much, but I really like how 13th age handles magical items, even though they're like not usually buyable. Is that young person's got 50 gold. Yeah, oils cost 100, runes cost 150. Okay. Yeah. So magical items have personalities and quirks, and they can actually talk. So if you have a bunch of magic items on you, it's just going to be fucking annoying because they're just going to be screaming over each other. And they also have like quirks, and they might affect your emotions. And if you have too many, they might actually overcome you. You can handle as many magic items equal to your level. So at level 1, you can have 1 magic item, and at level 3, you can have 3. If you have more than your level, your items' personalities start to sort of force themselves on yourself.
Essentially, you're playing a Chaos Mage by that point.
Exactly. Which, by the way, was really funny. I really like that class. It's great.
Oh yeah,
it's very random, but it's pretty great.
Yeah, I didn't want to create another Chaos Mage, but I would have if I hadn't played one already.
Right. Anyway, so we did not give him a name yet, so
that's okay. It's just Brad the Bard.
That's true. We actually named him at the beginning. Brad. What a bard. All right. Okay, that's it for 13th age character creation. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please check out our Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, social media, and non-social media. I don't know. Check out our Discord too if you guys want to talk to us. Have a good one, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hello again, folks. I'd like to tell you about the Facebook group we run called White Wolf and Onyx Path RPGs, Gameplay and Media. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded? One that won't be drowned out by random posts and discussions, so that your media could get the attention you deserve. The group is specifically run with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. The group is already immense and continuing to rapidly grow, with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there.